Hi, Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your June 2023 full moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out more than you guys will ever know. It's getting me seen by the YouTube algorithm, and that is just amazing of you guys. So, thank you so very much. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see the energy we need to be mindful of during this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides. We have the lady reversed. So the lady in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck is the Empress. There is something here. It can be beware of the mother, but it can also be very much an energy of a lack of creation, like feeling like your creative juices, the way that you can kind of like birth things forward into the world, not, literally, but not physically. It's like spiritually speaking, bring things forward into the world can feel blocked and overwhelmed. So just being aware of that during this time, that we might have challenges going from this, it's like the point of conception to the point of birth, right? Is what I keep on seeing. But it can be that somebody's having fertility issues, okay? But what I really am seeing here is that there's a whole bunch of creativity in us, and it's like pent up and it's held back. And it's getting to be really, it's like creative constipation. It's really, I guess that's the best way to put it, because that's what spirit keeps on saying. So here there is this sense of needing to let our creative energy come forward, but being afraid of what that will create and what doors that will open. So being aware of that is going to be super important for us, and it's going to be super helpful. Let's see what spirit has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Here we have soulful reverse. We need to take time to fill up our soul. We can be very good at getting things done and moving forward and, keep on keeping on. But we have to make sure our soul is full. And if we don't, we're going to feel very overwhelmed. We're going to feel very out of sorts in our own lives and feel as if we can't move forward the way that we really want to, the way that we really need to. It brings us to, there we go, it brings us to this, our tarot. So let's see what spirit has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Ooh, okay, cool. Love how that all just fell right out. And we need at least one more. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Oh, perfect. I really like this reading. I do know that you're going to sit there and probably focus on the Nine of Swords and be like, well, that's not fair. And the Seven of Swords and be like, that's not fair. Because there is a sense of feeling overwhelmed, overthinking, overanalyzing, really reading too much into things. And the Seven of Swords is a lie coming out. But what we also have to understand is that the South Lunar Node is in Scorpio. And this is our collective past. This brings forward big secrets and toxicities. And so it brings it to the surface. We're going to see that. Things that people would say, like, oh, let sleeping dogs lie type of thing. Like, oh, this can stay buried. It's not going to. And we're going to have to be aware of this. Now, Mercury is moving very quickly through the month of June. This means that this is a time of a lot of very quick information. It starts right by the full moon, right? Because the full moon is the third and the fourth. And so here we're going to see that quick information is coming forward. The full moon is in Sagittarius at 13 degrees 19, not 19, 13 degrees 18 minutes, there we go, of Sagittarius. And what we're going to find is that it's moving us towards independence and freedom, enthusiasm, idealism, and it wants us to go beyond what is to what can be. And that's what we're having a bit of difficulty with in our mind. It can be rich and the canvas can be just covered, but we're having a hard time bringing it forward. Sagittarius is also all about truth and honor and integrity and very linked to the law, but not in the, letter of the law type of way that Libra is. This is more around truth. There needs to be truth. We need to find the truth. We need to see the truth. It can't even be, people with strong Sagittarius inklings can, and paths in their lives, like justice can be done. Like something could be closed, justice was gotten, but the truth wasn't figured out, and so they won't be able to let it go. They won't be able to be satisfied with justice being done. They need the truth, and that's going to be something that's very important here. I see that coming through very powerfully for you. Yeah, is that we need to know the truth, Pisces, about things, even about like why we're moving forward and what we're going towards. Now, Cancer is ruled by the moon. So we have the full moon, right, in Sagittarius. So that is going to be very powerful for us. We're also represented by the moon in the major arcana. So the moon is powerful for us, whether we know it or not. We're much more moon sensitive than we think we are. Now, this full moon shines a light on a lot of things, again, that were kept hidden, that were held back. Now, this full moon is also letting us see, capital SEE, more clearly. We have a sixth sense, a third sight, type of thing. Now, this is also important because Neptune, which is unconditional love and oneness, the planet of unconditional love and oneness, which is also the ruler of Pisces, right? The ruler of us, is squared the galactic center. And this increases our psychic development and insightful dreams. So if you have like a long line of people who say, my instincts always come true, or that grandma who just knew everything type of thing, you have psychic tendencies in your family, empathic tendencies in your family, that can really start to bloom during this moon. And you might be kind of rocked off your socks type of thing. So just be aware of that. We also have Uranus conjunct Mercury. Now, this can bring sudden and surprising news as well as brilliant ideas. So be aware of that. That can be really fun. Uranus is the piercing sword of truth, and it is the higher mind. So with it being conjunct Mercury, Mercury is the everyday aspect. So Uranus is the higher aspect of Mercury, and Uranus is the planet of awakenings and moving to a new degrees during this time where it hasn't been since, what is it? Like 1939. So it hasn't been there in 84 years. It hasn't been moving into this new alignment. And it's going to bring with it a lot of awakening, a lot of insight, a lot of power. And we have here the Hierophant. Now, the Hierophant is Taurus energy. And what we have also in transit is Jupiter is conjunct the North Lunar Node at 3 degrees Taurus, which is very positive, connective energy. It brings us again to our higher dreams. Remember also, Neptune, our ruling planet, is the ruler of the unseen world. So if we can dream it, pretty much Pisces, we can do it. This has us connected with the natural world in a way that we haven't been in lifetimes. And this is going to deeply affect you, especially if you have, Taurus in your chart at all. But there is also a sense here of looking at what you are connected to, what you love, what you desire, what you have learned, and what you have taken on, like the responsibilities that you have taken on in your life. Hierophant energy is the energy of, it's like structured, okay? It's the energy of institutions that have structural knowledge, power, and insight to them. It leads us to the Nine of Wands. We're worrying. Why? Because there's a sense of I need to move forward, or I need to move. It might be forward, it might be on. I need this movement, but I'm overwhelmed. I'm overthinking, I'm overanalyzing, I'm beating myself up. So just be aware of that. During this time, we can be astoundingly harsh on ourselves. With the Chariot is Cancer energy, so strong Cancer energy coming forward. Pisces, not Pisces, you're Pisces. This is Taurus, this is Cancer, energy coming forward for us, Pisces. So Taurus energy, Cancer energy, there is a sense that we also need to rein in our emotions. They can be kind of all over the place during this time. We need a clear vision, like one goal. Okay, I know we're going to want to have a lot of goals. I love a lot of goals, a lot of things. And when I get really stressed, I just put more and more and more on my plate until all of a sudden I feel like I could blow up, right? So that's how I handle things. And it's not healthy. Here with this energy, it's like one thing. And that's what I'm trying to tell myself. It's like, Dane, one thing. Do one thing, then move forward. Do one thing and then move forward. And so here with the chariot, we're reining in our emotions. We're reining in what we desire. We're looking at what's really important to us and we're moving forward. The Seven of Swords, this is a secret coming out. Okay, this is a lot of lies or hurts or pains that we've been carrying. It can be around a child because we have a child here, but it can also be that, like, it's kind of like you held your I want to say, like, you held your father's secret, and or something like that in your family, and now it's kind of like, I don't want to have them to have to hold the secret for me. And that's really what I'm seeing here. And there's a sense of, I need to let this go. And it can't even be for lifetimes. You've held something in you, from one lifetime to the other lifetime. And there's a sense of, I don't want any more incarnations to hold this. So there's going to be something here, and you're really going to feel it because of that South Lunar node in Scorpio. You're really going to feel like this secret coming to the surface and needing to come to the surface. With the Nine of Pentacles, mind your money. Okay, that's going to be really important. The sword right over the pouch. And we have all these pentacles here because the crop's coming in. It's like, it's money coming in, but I need to harvest it. And we know that that's going to be backbreaking work. We know something's going to come forward and bring forward prosperity. Wealth are what we value as much as money, but it's going to take a heck of a lot of work. If we focus too much on the work it's going to take, we're going to be super scared, super overwhelmed, and super held back. This is going to be a time where we need to say, okay, again, one step at a time. I need to embrace what I love, what I want, what's important to me, one step at a time. So let's dive deeper into what the moon, let's dive into what the moon has to say for herself. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Ew, that's nice. Okay. Yeah, that South Lunar Node energy comes through very, very strongly. So what we have here is, it says pleasure reverse and emotions are running high. Emotions are running high. And in what we're doing, what we're working towards, the talents that we are building in ourselves, we don't necessarily find the work that needs to be done to get to where we want to be pleasurable. And that's okay. But our emotions run high. We can feel very much on edge with things. We have to look at the little pleasures, make things into tiny little goals, tiny little achievements. And that's going to be what can move you forward in a very big way. Pull it all back to bite-sized pieces. It brings us then to extremes. We have extremes, emotions are running high. We can kind of be like a pendulum swinging back and forth. Your dreams need a practical plan. That's reversed. We don't really have that much of a practical plan. And that's where we can get really overwhelmed, where we have like maybe a vague outline or cross your fingers type of wish type of thing. And we can go with that. That can be our practical plan. But we need to also sit there and say, okay, until I have XYZ done, I don't quit the job that's paying my bills now, right? Until I have this done, I don't move to that new place that I want to move to. So here, it's being a lot more practical and slowing it down. I see, Pisces, that slowing it down is going to be so important. Pisces, you're very much like a Gemini, okay? And we're in Gemini season. And why a Pisces and a Gemini are so similar, even though people don't always see it, is because Pisces is the two fish, Gemini is the two people. You have two ways your emotions run, right? And Geminis are easier to see, kind of like their ADHD and things, easier to see their interest in everything. So here, it's going to be that sense of, how do I let my heart move forward and rein in the emotions so that they're both steering the chariot, right? They're both heard and seen and used, but they're not overwhelming. They're not destroying me. We have sovereignty. this moon, sovereignty, I just see that as like certainty, right? The sense of a monarchy or a line passed down, passed down. It doesn't necessarily have to be sovereign, like it doesn't necessarily have to be stability, but it gives off or it tries to project that air, right? Of of solidness. It's time to take action. That's reversed. We're not feeling like this moon is going to make us very majestic or powerful in our own right and have that be solidified in our own existence. And we're not feeling very much like we can take action towards what we want, towards what we need, towards what we're discovering in our lives. And so this is going to be a time where as we rein things in, as we see what we want in our lives, as we first start with our emotions first and say, what's important to my heart? What's important to my soul? What's important to myself? Then we start to rein in a lot of what we need and a lot of what we desire. And it brings us to realizing, okay, I need clear boundaries for my dreams, for myself, for those I live with and work with. And then it says, don't let your past hold you back because we are, and we need to be reminded. Our past does not define our future. Our past is part of our story. And remember, in a good book, in a good movie, you need to have that conflict. You need to have that tension. You need to have, these big, terrible things happen so that the healing and the coming together can be so much more beautiful and so much more cherished. And this is around, lies. We need to have boundaries around lies or around even believing everything that we're told. And it says, don't let the past hold you back. Don't let secrets of the past ruin your present. There's fear around success. Why? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we tend to have, I know when I have fear around success, there's always that little voice that comes up, like teachers in school when I was in grade school, telling me I wasn't worth it. I'd never amount to anything. Thank goodness, I could get married, type of thing. And they'd say it. Like it was like I was right there. Here, we can have those fears. That sense of something that was planted in us that maybe we didn't have, but it grew over time because we felt helpless. We felt overwhelmed. And the fear, well, it's fight, it's flight, or it's freeze. And fear, it makes us freeze. It's one of the responses. It's when you have a stinking rabbit in your yard, right? And your dogs are yapping their heads off, they're wanting to go for it. And you're like, rabbit, just move. And the rabbit's frozen. It's like, no, you can't see me. It's like, dude, you're in the middle of the yard. Everybody can see you. That's the type of thing. So here we have to say, am I being a silly little rabbit frozen in the middle of the yard? It says the end of a tough cycle is approaching. And it is. An end of the hardships and the pains and the disappointments. It's approaching. And one of the main reasons why it's approaching is because we're taking the reins and we're saying, this is what I want. And this is the backbreaking work I'm going to do to get it. This is the dedication and determination I have to open up this door. And nothing and no one is going to stop me. So to everybody on the outside, it's going to look like magic. It's going to be like, wow, Pisces, you just stepped into all of this and it's magnificent. Look. And you're going to be thinking to yourself, this just took me forever, It didn't just start overnight. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the Five of Swords. Be mindful. You are going to have battles that you have fought before coming up again. And you just have to be ready for it. There are certain lessons that maybe we haven't learned fully or haven't fully, gained an understanding of, and they'll be coming back. I'm not saying this to make you upset. I'm saying this to say, you know what? Be aware. Subconsciously, we know it. We know it's not done yet. It's like when you're afraid of somebody or something, right? And everybody's telling you, oh, you're overreacting. Oh, you're overreacting. And then they do something and you're like, that's exactly what I was afraid of. And I've been saying this for months and nobody listened to me. That's the energy here. Not anything bad going to happen, but just a sense of like, I thought I was done with this battle. I thought this was over. And we can get a little bit heated. Emotions do run high because we have to learn, Pisces, to trust our intuition, to trust that voice inside of us because the rivers run within us. And the rivers bring us life. And we also have to be very mindful of what we feed the waters of our soul. Our subconscious spirit message is peace. We need peace, harmony. Whatever brings you peace, embrace it. Our subconscious tarot message. Oh, excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, Now I think I'm done. 3 times a charm is the High Priestess. The veil is being lifted from our eyes. We're seeing things much more honestly, much more openly than we have before. But that's part of that psychic development that's coming in subconsciously. We're going to be much more in tuned than we think we are. It moves us then to the full moon in Sagittarius, which is this moon. Look at the big picture. See what it is that you want and take aim. It's time to embrace the void, embrace the nothing, embrace the quiet. Because as we do this, we're going to see that we're embracing becoming part and connecting with the universe around us. All right. All right, Pisces. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Pisces. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless. Have a blessed moon. Bye.